Hello, people. Welcome to another video. My face is gonna be in this one because I'm gonna be explaining how I take a piece of paper and then coloring it in with Procreate today. So basically, I have only had Procreate since August of last year, so I'm still a little infant in the Procreate community. So if you don't understand what I'm doing, then that is probably a you problem. I don't really know how else to explain this, so that's so mean. I screen recorded a process video on my Procreate because you guys have been like, I get this question a lot. I get, what brushes do you use? How do you color in textures? Bloom, color variation, blah, 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 blah. Whatever you guys talk about, my process, that's basically what goes into my head as what you sound like. No, okay. So today we are going to be using pieces of paper that I drew on and then my iPad. Oh wait, I took off the cover. Is this one? I have this as my iPad, and yes, my art is my background because why not? I like my art. It just says iPad. I don't really know which model this is. It's not the biggest one. It's like the 11 point something inch. I don't know. Don't ask me. Procreate. This is Procreate. This is what I use it for. So I use this one by Python. It says Python on it. It works well. I use Procreate, iPad, and a pencil. And yeah. So a lot of people think that I do my art digitally. Like, where's the off button for this? Basically, I like to do my stuff traditionally, and then I'll take a photo of it, edit it on my phone, airdrop it to my iPad, and then that's when the magic begins, and I color stuff in. I never really have an idea as to how I'm gonna color something in. Everything I do is based off a reference. There's no shame in that. If you wanna get better at art and you're gonna hate on people that use references, then I don't know what to tell you. You're gonna fail. Basically, I use the colors that I see on the reference photo, and then I do my magic at the end. I'll do the whole color balance, textures, decks. I do that all at the end. Yeah. I'm just gonna watch this as I explain to you what I do. The brushes that I use, you can probably pause it and see which brushes I use at which time, depending on what is in the actual photo. If she has like a textured jacket or like a textured thingamajig, then maybe I'll use a different brush to like add more texture, like substance or whatever. I don't really know. I just whatever I feel like. For line art, if I want to do digital line art, I will use Inka, I think it's called. I think that's what it's called. Where's the on button for this? I use the sail brush. Why can't I say brush? I have to say brush. So basically, sail brush lets me do all these liney art things, right? That's if I want to do something that's like an actual line. If I want to color stuff in, then I will mainly use watercolor. Yeah, it says water. I'll just show it. Yeah. Basically, watercolor, it's more opaque. It lets me like do stuff on top of stuff, you know? Adds to more like a more opaque, is that the word? It lets me do layers and stuff. Like, it makes me feel like an actual watercolorist. I know that a lot of my art friends, I hope that they consider me their friend. A lot of them use Inka. Inka's also a really nice one. People saw my ink drawings and they're like, oh, how do you do that digitally? Which I really like that scratchy out effect and all that. It's because it's actually a pen that is running out of ink. But if you want that digitally, I would prescribe Inka. Inka is a really good scratchy outery kind of like aesthetic, like kind of a scratchy out, if you can see that. Another one a lot of people like to use is Gasinski ink. It's one that's a lot like watercolor. So basically you see that, right? And then when you go over it, it goes darker. It's one of those like markery outery things. So that's what people use. And that's what you can use and experiment with. Again, there's so many brushes. I only use like 5 of them. Sometimes maybe I'll like think, oh, textures. Let's give that a whirl. Boom. It just turns black. I don't know what I'm doing here. I think I've talked too much about stuff that is irrelevant. You know that True Grit company thing? Like, I know a lot of people that I follow use it. True Grit Supply, whatever. I've tried downloading their free sample 5 times. I'm just confused. Like, if I download it on my laptop, how do I get it onto my iPad? Or do I download it on my iPad? Because I don't really know what I'm doing. And then I just end up not using it. You know what? Okay, let's get to the actual, like, processy bit. What am I supposed to look at when I'm doing these videos? Is that? Well, like, I'm trying to look at myself because, like, No, I did not wash my face today. Yeah, I'm gonna go through my process. This one's a kind of a simple one because you guys are beginners. If you're watching this video, you know less than me, and that is something to not be ashamed of, but it's saying something, and I'm here to help. Okay, let's start. Basically, at the start, you can see me swatching some skin colors. See, with color theory and like people's faces, you have to understand that it's not gonna be all like peachy tones like this. It's gonna have, if you do like an eye drop, like, I don't know, there, it kind of looks green. This one looks like a poopy brown or whatever. What is it? There's a lot of redness because my face gets red a lot. Oh, now it's gonna be orangey because the lighting is kind of weird. You can kind of see like it's kind of like a really weird yellow kind of thing. You start from light to dark. This is just color theory from me. I hope you understood that, because I really did not. Start with the lightest color possible. It doesn't have to be a human color. Basically, that's what I'm saying. Light greens, yellows, oranges, purples. I don't really think I use purple. It's usually light yellow or light green. And you can change it later, it doesn't really matter. And then I add the normal human colors on top, adding the different shadowing around the eyes or around the noses or around the chins. Basically, wherever it needs shadow is where I put the next colors in. I'm really bad at blending. Stay away from blending and just adding colors to its designated, like, was it paint by number-ish kind of algorithm that I do when I'm coloring. These colors I'm basing off like my memory, so they're not gonna be accurate. So I like using the hue saturation to kind of change up the different tints, the saturation, brightness, darkness, just to the point where like my eyes understand where I went wrong. This is going way too fast for me. But when I'm doing my lineup, I most likely will make the lineup a different color, mainly purple. You use green, and plus like at the end when I do all my effects and like my color theory stuff, you can't really do anything if it's black. I don't know how to explain my process. Like, I know how to explain it. I feel like I'm explaining that I don't know how to explain more than I'm explaining my process. The reason why I put the green down before and then adding on all the shadows is when you use bloom. Bloom is an effect on Procreate, which it takes all the light bit and makes it as if it's a flashlight. Hopefully that makes sense. You can kind of see what it looks like. Yeah, like you see it kind of makes it go like, kind of blends all the colors together without actually having to blend it, because I do not know how to blend on Procreate or any other medium. So I just let the effects do it for me. Like, you can see me try to blend here, but I give up because I don't like how streaky it looks. I don't know, how do people like get it not streaky? I don't know how to do that. This is not a unstreakiness tutorial. If you want to learn how to do that, don't ask me. If you guys just enjoy seeing my face and hearing my voice, then you know what? Go for it. You guys can mute this and put this on full volume. Play it at your grandmother's birthday party. Maybe she'll learn something at her age. I don't know. Yeah, so you're asking like, why don't you just do it traditionally on your iPad? I've only done one entire digital piece, and that was Conan, and that was an entire loop. Like, I don't even understand how I did that. I don't really think I have to. I like doing stuff in like Lamy, Blue, 0.7, mechanical pencil. So for me to give that up would be betrayal. This is the first thing I drew in Procreate, by the way. I'll show you what it looks like. When I got Procreate, I hated it. I hated drawing on my iPad. She's so ugly. I drew her traditionally as well, and you can tell which one actually did well. Yeah, this was disgusting. Oh my gosh. When I drew that, I didn't actually have the pencil, so I was just using my hands, and then I got the pencil, and then I tried it. It's so slippery. Paperlight did not sponsor me. I'm not even gonna lie. I actually want their product. When I first got my iPad, I need to draw on paper or else I will decombust. I had this whole business plan, like I should open a business selling screen protectors that feel like paper. And then I looked it up, and there's an entire company dedicated to that already. I am outraged that they decided to, take my idea that I had and make it into a business before I had the chance to actually have that idea. I remember seeing that and I was like, oh my gosh, they have that idea. And then I was like, you know what, maybe I'll buy one, because we both have genius mindsets. Like, I had the idea, you had the idea just earlier than me. And then I looked it up and they're like $50. I don't have that kind of money. So then I just went back to the whole, I'm not gonna use it until I get good at it, which is kind of convoluted because you can't get good at it if you don't use it. So yeah, I just stuck to Photoshop. Oh, I'm crying. You know what? I got better. Here we are now, me giving you a tutorial on how to become me. So how the time flies, doesn't it? Anyways, let's get back to the actual talking. That did not look good like this. No. And then I added the green, added the grid. Basically, the main colors I've used for this piece is green, orange for like blushes and like kind of like highlight kind of stuff, and green. So let's test your color theory here. What's the complementary color of green? It's red. You weren't quick enough. I answered for you. So basically, I wanted to add some more pizzazz to this one. It was kind of boring me. I get bored and then I experiment. That's how my pizzas come to life. This grid I used and I had it at the back of my mind. I was like, oh, it's red. I can use that because it works with the greens and it's analogous to the orange color because rainbow, red, orange, and then green just works. It also gives a nice like hint to the background as well because it was kind of plain. Another good tip is like if you want your colors to work together despite what you have already, then use a entirely different layer, put a single color onto it and make it a multi-layer layer or even like a lighter color layer, so then all the colors are overpowered by that one color, so everything kind of works together, if that makes sense. Anyways, basically I add that into the background. I delete the color, the grid from the face and the hand. Yeah, that's basically it. I literally go through every single layer control to see which one would work best. I don't really know what they do. I just know what it looked like when I use it. That's all that matters, and that's it. I'm on like a swivelly chair, so this is why I'm moving around. Usually I do my stuff on the floor. I like being on the floor. This is like one of the rare moments you see me on a chair. So you guys get extra footage of me on a chair. So yeah, da-di-da-di-da. Did you know Procreate liked one of my posts on Twitter and I didn't realize until like last week. I don't know why. Because it was amazing and you guys could check it out. When it comes to my art, I have a massive ego. I'm just gonna say that right now. The thing is, like, I don't see a reason why I shouldn't like my art, and I don't see a reason why I should say that what I do is easy. This took a while. This takes a while to get used to, and there's nothing wrong with that. It's just that I'm good now, and that's all there is to it. My art is amazing. Again, that's subjective, but like, I don't really care about anyone else's opinion but mine when it comes to my art. Unless it's like I did something offensive, then call me out on it. I don't want to be a bad person. I'm not a bad, well, that says a lot about people when they say that. I'm not a bad person, but I'm like, blah, 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 blah. Like, just own up to your mistakes, you nimrod. Pupils. I have to get that out the color in the pupils because people have eyes there. So I do the lightest color I can and then make it into bloom. Bloom is such a nice feature. Did you know that, sorry, I had a conversation in my head and I was really into it, so I just stopped talking. Bloom, again, the hands. I really like the left hand. It's like a really nice contrast to the right hand because it has a nice little greeny area. It's much more light and clean and, like smooth. I don't know how to explain it. I like using noise as well. It's a pretty good method. It's a nice method of making everything equally bad. Not equally bad, but equally grainy. Especially if you import like a picture that's not the right bigness, like pixelness, like the pixel sizes. You know, everything's equally as grainy. And again, with the whole filter thing, it's like that. Teeth. I love being teeth. Teeth is so nice. Just teeth.
I don't trust those trees. They seem kind of shady. I piss on the floor. Knock, knock. Who's there? Control freak. Con. Okay, now you say, control freak who? Kid. Dad, make me a sandwich. Dad, poof, you're a sandwich. The Grammys. Ha 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 he ha ha he tee he. The piglet chased the butterfly. Itchy Nissan meow. In February, March. No, but April, May. The friendly group left the pharmacy. Frog, 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 dog, 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 toey, toey, toey. Ha 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 he. Ha ha he tee he. Itchy Nissan meow.
So now we're gonna move on to me finishing the base. I've exported everything, and now here comes the fun part. This is just one way I do it. This is the place that I ended up showing, so this is what we're gonna end up with. I do have a little experimentation going behind the scenes and all that, but we're just gonna learn how I do it today. Like, take it to a different one. As you can see, I made one of them purple. You can do that by going to the hue saturation thing, taking it to purple. That's basically how you do it. Chromatic Aberration, if you want that effect where it's like you take takes the line art and takes it, like, shifts it, and there's like multiple line arts everywhere, and it's like overlaying kind of texture-y kind of effect. That's how you do it. I usually do it on one layer, and then I play with the layer controls. As you can see, it's moving around. Color dodge, whatever I like to use, doesn't really matter. Again, duplicating everything. This is really going fast, so I don't waste my time when I'm doing experimentations. I literally just quick. That's it. I literally just did whatever I felt like it. I used every single button in my power. I used every single effect in the effect list, and that's how I got to that stage. I feel like you guys waited all this time for like that little tiny bit, but that's literally what I do. There's nothing else to really explain. The things that I use the most though, I'll give you a list. Bloom. I use that from like the beginning as well, like just to blend things out, give it a more highlighted feature. Number 2, I like using chromatic aberration. I like doing that if I want the effect to be like more line arty and more like a surrealism. Is that what you call it? I don't really know what it's called, but that's what I do. Another one that I do, noise. Noise is a good one for that really grainy effect. Another one I use is, what do I use? What are their names again? I use glitch a lot actually, now that I think about it. If it's a serious piece, like not a serious piece, but if it's like a really basic piece, then I tend to stay away from glitch. If it's like a more dramatic piece, then maybe I use glitch for one of the variations, but again, it's just up to what I think about at the time. I like using the layer controls. I wouldn't say that I have like a preference. I use divide sometimes. Sometimes you can make a layer like on top of everything, make it entirely white, and then making it divide. Get that really spooky look that sometimes I do. Maybe I'll pop one up here right now that I did. Basically, that's it. This is my process. If you don't understand it, then play this on 0.5 speed and watch it 10 times. I think that's the homework that I'm gonna prescribe you guys today. If I do not see a parent signature underneath your homework list, then I'm afraid that you have to stay back in lunch recess. It's just disrespectful. You have to watch this 10 times if you want to become like me. And that's basically what it is. If you guys want to do what I do, I'm giving you all the materials, my people. Unless, like, not the actual. You guys have to buy your own iPad and all that, which is really expensive. But, yeah. Hope you guys enjoyed this. If you didn't, then watch my other videos. Maybe you enjoy those ones. If you don't enjoy those ones, then watch some lo-fi music. I don't know what you guys enjoy. You go do what you enjoy. It doesn't have to be watching me. I don't really care. If you guys want to see anything else, any more tutorials like this, then sure, tell me. Maybe I'll consider it. The only thing that I do know how to do is Procreate. I can kind of do Photoshop, but again, anything that I do is really spur of the moment kind of concepting thing. I don't really have a mental idea of what I'm doing. I just think, hey, that looks cool. Why don't I experiment with that? That's basically my thought process when I'm doing art. I don't know what I'm doing. If you guys want to know what I do, this is what it is. Hope you guys have fun. What else do I have to say? I love you, my darlings. Not sponsored by anyone, but me. If you guys want to buy some print, then sure, why not? They're in the link in the bio. Not the bio, the description box. If you guys want to buy some print and give me your money, then you can do that. If you didn't like this one, then give me one of these. Yeah, that'd be kind of cool though. That'd be kind of fun. And yeah, have fun, do what you want, experiment by my children of parents. Okay, bye.